Hi everyone, my name is Christina Loback and I am an immigration lawyer at Spousal Legal. Welcome to our video series on Canadian spousal sponsorship. This is hands down one of our most popular services, and for really good reason. The evidentiary burden is heavy and it's really easy to accidentally mess up. Today we're going to discuss the basics: eligibility for Canadian spousal sponsorship. Canada's spousal sponsorship program is available to a spouse, common law partner, or a conjugal partner of a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or Indian under the Canadian Indian Act. Spouses are two people in a marriage that is legally recognized in the country where it took place, as well as in Canada. So here's a really common question we get asked. You do not have to get married in Canada in order to do the spousal sponsorship process. In fact, given the significant delays people are seeing with getting Ontario marriage certificates issued, sometimes it might make more sense to get married in Michigan or a neighboring state, so long as you make sure that the marriage is going to be legally recognized in Canada as well. Regardless, there really is one exception to the rule allowing marriages outside of Canada. So if a marriage is performed outside of Canada where one or both persons weren't physically present at the ceremony, it will not be recognized. So if you had a COVID-19 wedding via webcam or using a proxy, your partner won't qualify as your legal spouse for purposes of spousal sponsorship. What's the difference between a common law and a conjugal partner? Well, common law partners are persons who've been living in a conjugal relationship with another person continuously for at least 1 year. A conjugal relationship exists when there is a significant degree of commitment between two people. Check out our blog on this topic for more information on what that means. Now, to qualify as common law partners, you will need to submit proof that you share the same home, support each other financially and emotionally, have children together if applicable to you, and present yourselves in public as a couple. You're considered to be common law once you've lived together for at least 1 year. If the year hasn't passed yet, it's considered that you're still just dating and you aren't going to be eligible for spousal sponsorship. Now, a conjugal partner means a person who is living outside of Canada and who has been in a conjugal relationship with the sponsor for at least 1 year. For many years, Canadian immigration officers took a really firm, and frankly unfair, position that there had to be an impediment to cohabitation to qualify. Typically, this was an immigration barrier or some other type of serious barrier, like sexual orientation in a country that didn't recognize it. The Canadian government very recently, and quietly for some reason, changed this policy in the operational bulletins to remove this impediment to cohabitation requirement. Why? Well, mostly because they recognized that it was discriminatory, and there have been an increasing number of court victories recognizing marriage-like relationships. In case you didn't catch it, I want to emphasize that the principal applicant must be living outside of Canada to apply as a conjugal partner for spousal sponsorship. So if the principal applicant lives inside of Canada, they will have to meet the definition of spouse or common law partner. What if you're engaged to your partner but not married yet? Well, Canada does not have a fiancé category for engaged couples like the US does with K-1 visas. However, in most cases, engaged couples will probably qualify for spousal sponsorship via the common law or conjugal partner categories. In some cases, though, it will be more beneficial if you wait until you are legally married to apply, particularly if you don't think you can prove that you cohabitated or were, otherwise conjugal for at least a year. Finally, if you didn't already know it, gay marriage is legal in Canada. We are one of the first countries in the world to recognize same-sex marriage. All three types of relationships that qualify for spousal sponsorship, spouses, common law partners, and conjugal partners, do recognize and include same-sex relationships. Now that we've covered the types of relationships that are eligible, our next video will discuss who qualifies as a sponsor. If you want more information on our spousal sponsorship services, visit www.spousalegal.com.